Hi, this is Dipesh here, and today we will be covering PF Provident Fund Act 1952. Just a disclaimer, these are logics that I am talking about. For the act, you have to go back to your book, read it, study it. This is just a building block that will help you to understand the logic behind how the PF applies to the industry, applies to the employee, and what are their benefits. So due to time constraint, what we will do, I will upload this PF ka thing in 3 different parts. So first we will just plainly think and talk about what actually PF is. Okay. So PF is Provident Fund Act 1952. Now what this Provident Fund Act is? Provident Fund Act, this Provident Fund is an amount that an employer and employee, both equal amount, is deposited by both employer and employee into a specific Provident Fund account. Just as you have bank accounts, in the same way there are Provident Fund accounts where this amount gets deposited, but in an equal ratio, 12%, 12%, 12% and 12%. It's one of the most beautiful scheme, I guess so, in the world. I would say, I am not aware of whether in other world it happens or not, but if I remember, one of my counterpart in Europe said that they have retirement benefit but not of this kind. So what actually, how Provident Fund is one of, why I believe that it's one of the best when it comes to a retirement plan. I will say Provident Fund act as a savings where every month 12% from the employee side and 12% from the employer side. Employee, okay, and employer gets into an account automatically, so it becomes your saving. Tax benefit, PF gets a tax exemption for the people due at the end of their financial years. Saving interest on this deposit. Not only you get the savings, tax benefit, but also get yearly interest, compounded interest that too, that varies between 7.5 to 8.5 somewhere. So it changes every year. It changes if not in year, in couple of years, as per the policy of the central government. So now you understood why PF is one of the most important and most beneficial retirement plan. It can be withdrawn in 2 scenarios. One, when you are unemployed for 2 months continuous, and in case you retire from the organization. When I say unemployed, now you would be thinking that there are employees, once they resign and join another company, they go for this PF and it's withdraw. Exactly. But if you see and observe, all the PF forms have to be mandatorily submitted after 2 months of resignation, where a government deem that a person is not into any other organization and he needs money due to unemployment. So after unemployment, continuous unemployment of 2 months or retirement. See, these are the logics and things that you should know. Okay. So this is PF. We have discussed on why it is one of the most helpful plan for any of the employee, what are the contributions and how it is done. Now, whom does this PF applies and who all are the employees? Those are eligible. So as I said, I am an old school, so I have to rub my slate again and again. I can help you understand this on laptop, but I myself choose this slate. I am more comfortable with this. PF is applied for all the organization and all the factories in India. The criteria is 1, 20 plus employee. if any organization, any shop and establishment act or under factory act, any of the organization or the factory is registered and it has 20 plus more employees, then it's covered under PF. So now there are two scenarios. Say if a company is a startup company and it has 18 employees on third party payroll, okay, or a combination of it. So this does not suffice 20. So the PF will be applicable or not? The PF will be applicable on the basis whether this third party employer, that is contractor or anyone, do have more than 20 plus employee. Yes, if the third party employer has more than 20 employees, automatically these 18 employees of the startup will also fall under the PF eligibility. Now the second scenario is where an organization has more than 20 plus, but the third party vendor, he has one party vendor where he has only have 5, which might be of gardener, which might be of small laborers, just 5 employees under his organization. Then will this PF applicable? Yes, because the PF applicable for the principal employer and hence it will be applicable for this third party vendor also, even though he has less than 20 plus employee. The reason is that the principal employer has to then take care of the PF need of this 5. Either the third party vendor has to go for voluntarily PF registration, and if it is not the option, then it's principal employer who has to make arrangement for the PF deposit of these 5 employees. So it should be 20 plus. The other is that there should be an employer and employee relationship. For example, now if I am working in an organization, say ABC organization, and I am having their contract letter, so there is an employer and employee relationship where I am working for a company, giving my services over there, and in returns they are paying me for my services. So the employer and employee relationship exists, so I am eligible for the PF. But in case if a person is working in an organization for his academic interest as a part of his academic curricula, for example, we have apprentice, we have MBA student who comes in organization for specific 2 months, 3 months project, 4 months project. Over there is no employer and employee relationship. Still that person or the individual is a student and is registered under the university and he's a part of his curriculum, and that is the reason he's over there for academic interest. And so the employer and employee relationship does not exist, so the apprentice, student and etc. does not fall under PF. Now the consultants are also of the same way. Consultants are not the organization's employee, they are there for specific reason. It might be for the project implementation, or they might be there for some skill development or etc. For these people also PF does not exist. The reason is there is no employer-employee relationship. A consultant can work for 5 different organization at same time giving same services. So again there is no employer and employee relationship with any of the organization. Hence even the consultant will not get into the PF. So what you have to understand and keep in mind is that whether it is 20 plus employee, yes, tick mark, and whether an employer and employee relationship exists. So if the employer and employee relationship exists and it's 20 plus employee, with no doubt, zero doubt, the PF gets applied to the concerned organization and also it gets applied to a employee. Even if an employee is there for a daily wages, there is no bifurcation or no hint anywhere in PF Act, as per my knowledge, where there is a bifurcation of the employees. It does not apply for this category or that category. It straight away says employer, and the employees includes all employees, that is permanent employee, contractual employee, it includes seasonal employee, it includes daily wages, temporary employees, all kind of employees that is there fulfilling 20 plus and employer-employee relationship. So as I said, this will be in a 3-part because the PF is little bit vast subject. So what we will do is, I have explained you how the PF logic runs and what actually PF is. The second video that I will upload will be of the contribution and how the contribution gets calculated. I will be uploading the part 2 in some 2 to 3 days after this video is uploaded. Thanks a lot, and keep watching my YouTube channel also, and also keep sending me the network request. Thanks a lot.